A pleasant day to each and everyone. Today we are going to tackle Module 2, Lessons 1 to 3, all about intersubjectivity. But before that, allow me to introduce ourselves first. By the way, I am Andrew Dinsing, together with my co-reporters, Ms. Demol, Ms. Maranda, Ms. Maglahos, Ms. Lakoto, Ms. Supilanas, Ms. Opeda, Ms. Valle, Ms. Bravo, Ms. Mundihar, and last but not the least, Ms. Antiola. And we are the Group 3. To begin with Lesson 1, Accepting Differences. As humans, we have natural and universal tendency to relate, to establish attachments, and seek close relationships with other people. Our human nature drives us to reach out to other people and interact with them in meaningful ways. The interaction between the self and the other is related to the philosophical concept of intersubjectivity, which is the mutual recognition of each other as persons. A good way to think of intersubjectivity is to imagine how one relates to their family and friends. Maybe one of the family members enjoyed playing volleyball, so he took one of the members of the family with him when he practiced, and he always had a good time. Growing up, he decided to join school volleyball team. If that member of the family had not played volleyball with him growing up, he may not have grown to like the sport, which means what he experienced can be called as intersubjective because he was influenced by another person. Important values related to intersubjectivity include acceptance of differences and embracing diversity. We have to accept the fact that people have different views and beliefs, and what unites us all is our shared humanity and dignity.
The recognition of our shared humanity and dignity is what drives us to extend assistance and act with concern towards others, especially towards those individuals or groups that experience hardships and discrimination. For instance, those who are physically and mentally challenged often experience hardships because of their condition. Despite their limitation, many of them have successfully transcended their disability to become productive and happy individuals. So each person is just as important as you are. This means that you learn to accept your life as worthwhile. The bottom line is that there will be things in your life that you will not be able to change, and there will be things that you can. Think about it. Our character, attitude, intellect, and the way in which we can interact with others are all the things that we can change and improve.
Hi guys, my name is Farisha Cosna S. Miranda, and for this video, we're going to talk about the Lesson 2 of Module 2. So our module is entitled with Intersubjectivity, and my lesson to discuss is about the Accepting Others, which is the Lesson 2. So at the end of this module, you should be able to understand that intersubjectivity recognizes each other as persons. Realize that intersubjectivity requires accepting differences which lead to good relationships, and of course demonstrate appreciation for the talent. So interaction between self and the other is related to the philosophical concept of intersubjectivity, which is the mutual recognition of each other as persons. As humans, we have natural and universal tendency to relate, to establish attachments and seek close relationships with other people. Our human nature drives us to reach out to other people and interact with them in meaningful ways. So unfortunately, every one of us knows how to interact with other people in our first meet, what situation it is. So our first interaction with other people might start with a different situation. It can be that you have interacted with someone because you have the same opinion on something, or you will start to interact because you're going to debate on a specific opinion that you don't agree with. Usually that's where connectivity from other people starts. And intersubjectivity is a term originally coined by the philosopher Edmund Husserl of 1859 to 1938. It is most simply stated as the interchange of thoughts and feelings, both conscious and unconscious, between two persons or subjects, as facilitated by empathy. Intersubjectivity is the middle ground between intersubjectivity and total subjectivity. Objectivity being a truth that is not related to the subject, whereas subjectivity is a truth that is relative to the perspective of a subject. Intersubjectivity encompasses multiple subjects and multiple viewpoints that are in themselves subjective, but the combination of multiple viewpoints that point to the same truth allows subjectivity to not be completely subjective in a way that it is often used derogatively. So, for example, I see a large green shooting star that falls to the north of me. Another person sees a large shooting star that falls to the south of her. And a third person sees it fall to the east, and a fourth person sees it fall to the west. Now, since we all describe the shooting star as green, we can intersubjectively agree that it was in fact green. At the same time, we can compare our individual locations at the time that the star fell from the sky, and the direction it appeared in from our locations. And with some degree of accuracy, we can intersubjectively determine that the shooting star should have fallen exactly somewhere. The intersubjective aspect of this is defining the processes through which we perceive the world. We all see, we all hear, and we all feel in the same physical way. And that is an intersubjective concept as it relies upon two or more people agreeing with the method and similarity of experience, making the entire basis for any argument reliant on intersubjectivity.
Good day, ma'am, and good day to everyone. I am Megan C. Maglahos, a member of the Group 3. So our report is about the intersubjectivity. So now I am going to discuss and tackle to you about our report. So intersubjectivity looks at the others as rooted within the self. It is safe to say that this concept also promotes a view that all people are equal. This will imply that people from the other sectors of the society, such as those who have physical disabilities or socioeconomic challenges, are seen as individuals the same potential and talents as anybody else. Everyone has power to understand relationships and interactions that occur in the society with little regard to social or physical differences. In effect, people who are marginalized may still be seen as significant contributors to society through their talents, skills, and capabilities. Intersubjectivity facilitates interaction among individuals which make us treat each other as real persons. We are able to look at others equally regardless of their physical and socioeconomic status and make us realize that anyone can contribute to the society. With this, it promotes a sense of community and unity among individuals. Intersubjectivity is a term originally coined by the philosopher Edmund Husserl around 1859 to 1938. Is most simply stated as the interchange of thoughts and feelings, both conscious and unconscious, between two persons or subjects, as facilitated by the empathy. Intersubjectivity has been used in social science to refer agreement. This is intersubjectivity between people if they agree on a given set of meanings or share the same perception of a situation. Similarly, Thomas Skeff defines intersubjectivity as the sharing of subjective states by two or more individuals. Intersubjectivity has a broad appeal because of its attempt to explain human experience through indivisible and mutually constituent connection between the individual and the social. A multi-field approach is therefore most effective in addressing the complex and interwoven aspects of this phenomenon. And that's all for today's report. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Momena D. Lakoto from grade 11 Taurus. Now we will tackle the lesson 3, appreciating people with disabilities. And at the end of this module, you should be able to First, define and explain the importance of intersubjectivity. Second, appreciate the talents of persons with disabilities and those from underprivileged sectors of society and their contribution to society. And the last one is perform activities that demonstrate the talents of persons with disabilities and those from the underprivileged sectors society. Intersubjectivity. Intersubjectivity is a condition of man, a subject, among other men, who are also subjects. It refers to the shared awareness and understanding among persons. It is made possible by the awareness of self and the other. A dialogue is an interaction between persons that happens through speech or the use of words, expression, and body language. It occurs when two persons open up to each other, give and receive one another in their encounter. Genuine dialogue occurs when persons are willing to share themselves with one another. The awareness of each other's presence is a true person is defined by the acceptance of each other's uniqueness and differences.
Good day everyone, I am Julie Pilanas. Today I will discuss what is my part of our reporting. So first of all, I discuss who is Martin Buber. Martin Buber is an Australian born Israeli Jewish philosopher. Human intersubjectivity is a true encounter through the three spheres of dialogue that I engage in. His three spheres of relationship with natural things such as animals and plants, relationship with other human being, and relationship with intelligible being, also translated as spiritual being, ideas, work, arts, poem, etc. The idea is the encounter between man and man, where language is exchanged and described as always mutual, real and direct. It is an evidence language. In other terms, either there is a unity of being in which of individual can always find God. Common good. Intersubjectivity has significant contribution of society relationships, including the following. It validates real and authentic objectivity experience. Pinatunayan nito ang tunay na pansariling kalikasan. It facilitates interaction among individuals. Pinapadali nito ang pagkikipag-ugnayan sa mga individual. Enables individual to look of other equality regardless of any physical or socio-demographic factor. Binibigyang daan nito ang mga individual na tumitingin sa iba ng pantay-pantay, anuman physical o socio-demographicong salik. It promotes a sense of community and unity among individuals. Ito ang nagtataguyod ng isang pakiramdam ng komunidad at pagkakaisa ng mga individual. It emphasizes that everyone can contribute to society. Binigyang diin nito ang sinuman ay maaaring mag-ambag sa lipunan.
The concept of intersubjectivity also promotes a view that all people are equal. This would imply that people from other sectors of society, such as those who have physical disabilities or socio-economic challenges, are seen as individuals with the same potential and talents as anybody else. Because intersubjectivity is unbiased, everyone has the power to understand relationships and interactions occurring within the society with little regard to social or physical deficiencies. For better understanding of intersubjectivity, let's say a subject is the person experiencing an action or event. An object is what is being experienced. When we say something is objective, we mean that it is factually true. When we say that something is subjective, we mean that it is based on an opinion or a biased viewpoint, not on hard facts. In literature, Subjectivity means that the story is told from a biased viewpoint, whether it is told by a character or an unnamed author. Everyone in the world has their own subjective viewpoint. Intersubjectivity means that we all influence and are all influenced by others to some degree. The principle of intersubjectivity can be applied to almost any decision we make, big or small. We always have to consider how our actions will affect others. We ourselves are constantly affected by the actions and words of the other people around us. First, Stephen Hawking. He is a physicist and cosmologist who, despite his rare medical condition called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, made significant contributions to contemporary studies of relativity and quantum physics. Stephen Hawking was a scientist known for his work with black holes and relativity, and the author of popular science books like A Brief History of Time. Stephen Hawking was regarded as one of the most brilliant theoretical physicists in history. His work on the origins and structure of the universe, from the Big Bang to black holes, revolutionized the field, while his best-selling book have appealed to readers who may not have Hawking's scientific background. Hawking died on March 14, 2018, at the age of 76.
As a child, Oprah Winfrey experienced living in a poor household and was sexually abused. Despite this, she motivated herself to succeed and did so by being one of the richest women alive today. Oprah Winfrey is also a talk show host, media executive, actress, and a billionaire. She is best known for being the host of her own wildly popular program, The Oprah Winfrey Show, which aired for 25 seasons from 1986 to 2011. In 2011, Winfrey launched her own TV network, the Oprah Winfrey Network. Martin Buber, an Austrian-born Israeli Jewish philosopher best known for his philosophy of dialogue. At the heart of Buber's theology was his theory of dialogue, the idea that what matters is not understanding God in abstract, intellectual terms, but rather entering into a relationship with Him. Such a relationship, he believed, is possible only when we establish genuine relationships with one another. All actual life is encounter by Martin Buber means situated in actual life with the world, with others, and with God. The living reality is encounter, living truth, hence cannot be possessed, only actualized and mutual encounter.
What's more, the recognition of our shared humanity and dignity is what drives us to extend assistance and act with concerns towards others, especially towards individuals or groups that experience hardships and discrimination. For instance, those who are physically and mentally challenged often experience hardships because of their condition. Despite their limitation, many of them have successfully transcended their disabilities to become productive and happy individuals.
Helen Keller, 1880-1968, was an American author, political activist, and the first deaf-blind person to earn a bachelor degree. Her education and training represent an extraordinary accomplishment in the education of a person with this disability. Nicholas James, Nick Orbojicic, is an Australian evangelist and a motivational speaker who was born with phocomelia, a condition which a person is born with no arms and legs. Lastly, Rusil Ambubuyo. She is the first visually impaired Filipino to graduate summa cum laude from Ateneo de Manila in 2001. Despite her handicap, loss of vision, she was consistent honor student. Living in this world is not perfect. We are not perfect. The examples given were a revelation for us. For this give us inspiration to feel that we should be sensitive enough to understand every individual's differences. We sometimes feel that we are not capable of doing things, but from the given examples, we can say that we should be thankful already of what we can do. Intersubjectivity really plays significant role in each of us in understanding the difference among us.
Intersubjectivity is a condition of man, a subject, among other men who are also a subjects. It is referred to shared awareness and understanding among persons. It made possible by the awareness of self and the other. And also, it is a good way to think about intersubjectivity. And it is to imagine how you relate to your family and friends. For example of intersubjectivity is your mother enjoyed playing tennis. She took you with her when she practiced, and you always had a good time. Growing up, you decided to join the school tennis team. If your mother had not played tennis when you growing up, you may not have grown to like the sports. So your experience with the tennis can be called intersubjectivity. It's because it was influenced by another person, which is your mother. Just need to define a subject and an object. A subject is the person experiencing an action or event. An object is what is being experienced.